Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Shadow here. Shadow is a German Shepherd going on 5 years that has come in to live with us for a couple of weeks. Really good guy. His owner has done a lot of training with him. My purpose in his training is to help transition him and the owner into a leadership position. Him, not so much leadership, the owner, but him happily being willing to follow the owner's or the leader's lead in life. German Shepherds tend to have a fairly strong, some even more manic, prey drive and play drive. We want to make sure he can go out in public, meet other dogs, see cats, and I've been informed there's a cat behind me. He doesn't know it yet, but I think he just got a scent. And defer to the leader in whatever the situation may be. So how do we do that? We do that primarily through obedience to begin with. Why obedience? Because when we ask him to do a command, he has to do it. More importantly, he has to hold that command until we release him. When we do that and practice and do it consistently, he starts to learn we're in control. Then when we run into a situation at home, when playing with the other dogs or seeing someone out and about, he knows his place. Why? Because we've been working with him and letting him know that he has to obey. If he obeys is praise, words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion. If he does it, primarily in obedience form is words and touch. There's some subliminal things as well, but primarily words and touch. That praise and touch, when you do it in the moment, is what he understands. So he has to realize that if he pops up, owner has to let him know immediately that he did something wrong. The other good thing about our dogs is when they do something, they're going to do it over and over again. If it's something we like, we praise. We praise him, let him know how happy we are. We can even put a command to it, and he's got something else in his glossary of commands. If he does something wrong, we have to bite it. The good thing, he's going to come back and circle to that until we teach him that that's something we don't want. So we're going to go through the obedience, see what happens. I don't see the cat. It might have walked out of the frame now, but you could see initially he took a scent on it. That's fine. We have to watch for that in the beginning, because in the beginning, he doesn't know. He's going to go back and do the things he used to do until we show him life is different. How do you like that, Shadow? You ready? Let's go. Hear that tone of voice. Let's go. Let's go is our walking command. Our walking command is, good boy. We want him right here. We don't want him out here. That's important. We're going to talk about that. We don't want him here. We want him here. We want him here. Okay? If he's out there in front of us, two things happen. One, he can't see us easily. He'll have to turn back. And two, out of sight, out of mind. He gets out there and he becomes the leader of the walk. It's especially important when you've got a dog that wants to be alpha that you let him know where his place is. That's something you're going to have to work on, okay? So when we start to work and we see he starts to take his head or lead, we're going to immediately bite him back, and when we bite, we're going to tell him, no, let's go, and then come back and give a little bit of praise. Anytime we consequence our dog, we always follow it back up with a light praise once they're doing what we want, okay? We change, and initially we change speeds, we change directions, and what we're doing when we're doing all that to begin with is teaching him he has to focus with us. When we're chill like this, keep in mind he's a prey guy, he's going to look around. I don't care. That's great. That's what German Shepherds do. You know, they're our protectors when we're in the pack. We want them to be aware of the environment. Let's go. So we're going to walk. I can walk fast. I can see how he turns his head when I slow down. We want him to watch and see what's going on. Sit. Good boy. Sit means sit. When I ask him to sit, he has to hold that sit. I'm not going to keep him in a sit for a long, long time, because if you watched any of my videos, I don't like to put pressure there. But he has to hold that sit until we release him. Or we go to another command. Let's go. Sit. Hand signal for sit. Good boy. And now he holds it till we release it. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to go into let's go. I'm going to do a BREAK command. That's his release. When I do that, I'm going to give a hand signal, watch it, and then I'm going to bring my hands right here in between my legs. And he does like treats very, very well. We want to try to limit him to the things that are most important to us when he does it correctly. So I'm going to walk, bring, See how my hand is and see where he can. Good boy, came to me. One of the things I did with break, and I'll do that with the COME later, is I step back. I like to think when I'm stepping back, I'm like a magnet, and I'm making myself the center of the universe. And when I walk away from him, his natural inclination will be to come to me, okay? Frank, good boy. Let's go. Had the treat there. I didn't give it to him then. I'm going to save it for the COME in just a second. So we sit here. Good boy. So now we've got it. I'm going to go ahead and go with COME since we're here. We can do it if he's laying down, if he's free, or what have you. In the beginning, it has to be with a leash, okay? Because if he doesn't come, we need to bite him towards us and tell him, no, come. We'll talk about off leash as soon as we do this. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to step still, stand still, excuse me. Ready? Hand signal, come. He comes, he sits. Good boy. He looks at me, I pay him off. I did not release him, so he has to hold that sit. If he popped up then, it would have been no sit. Good boy. Right. So that hand signal was like this. Off leash, and when I say off leash, I'm talking about initially inside, okay? What I would do is do it again. I would get his attention. He's running around doing whatever he wants to do, and this is after we've been practicing obedience. I'll do this. Shadow, hey, come. You see how he started? Ah, boy, good boy, break it. He started to come to me. I did not tell him off leash, pretend like I was off leash, to come until he actually started moving towards me. I like to say when he started moving towards me like that, and we told him to come, he was already excited about the treat or the toy. We sort of melded that command with his happy thoughts. And we do that over and over and over again. We don't just get out there and tell him to come, because if he's paying attention to something else or playing with the dogs, he may not come, and then he learns he does not have to come all the time. So right now it's so important to get everything going our way. We only give commands when we know they're going to do it, or we can make him do it in that case in time. Let's go. Sit. Hand signal from in front, down. Good boy. Notice my tone was a little stronger. I believe when we've got an alpha-oriented dog that we want to have a little bit firmer inflection for the down command. Now when I ask him to down, he has to hold that down until I release him. I can go, stay. Now I told him to stay. He can sort of chill out and not really pay a lot of attention. He can chew a bone. He can lay over on the side. He's going to be there for a while. I like to use the stay command with the down stay to teach him that I'm in total control. Again, normally I don't leave him in a stay, or I leave him in a stay a minimum of 2 or 3 minutes. I'm not going to do this here in the video, but I wanted to show you. Another important thing this does, break it, it's good boy, is when we get in the house somewhere, and say we're in a room of a house, and we don't want him to follow us. What we would do is we would get to the door, we would go, Shadow, we don't even have to call his name, stay. We walk out the door, and he knows he has to stay in that room. We've started teaching that with a down stay. We do it on a leash or with the little tab that I discussed. If he came through that room, through that door, we would get the leash and tap right back in. No, 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 stay, and then we go back, okay? Good boy, he's doing good. So we walk out of the room, we come back in. That could be a treat praise moment. Good boy. Let's go. That's what stay is all about. So we did DOWN from in front. Now we're going to do it from the side. He doesn't have to be seated. Down. Good boy. That's such a good boy. Yes, I love you. Okay, he's in a down command. Again, same rules. He has to hold it. All right? Down from the side, down from in front. Now, I'm going to call him up and do a sit, because we can go from any command to another. But when we first start doing sit from down, it's very important that we lift with our emotion. You remember words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion? Here we go. Okay, sit. Ah, boy. Believe it or not, that's harder than the down command. So I always start the sit from down when I'm teaching the down, because usually a dog's ready to get up, okay? Let's go. So we're at let's go, we're at sit, we're at down, we're at come. We know the DOWN. The things that we do is we just grow from there. We start to do them in motion and moving around and take different angles. Dogs learn in environments and scenarios. So when we're doing this here, he learns this is what I got to do here. But then we go out back where the horses are, we go down the street, we go to another room, and we start to teach him that he has to obey everywhere. And believe it or not, with a lot of dogs, they're going to say, wait a minute, you told me I had to do it there. You never told me I had to do it here. And what happens is he goes back in that other room or that other place and say, this is what I did the last time, this is what I'm going to do, until we change the rules. Gradually, if we keep doing it and broadening his horizons, he'll learn to obey us no matter what the situation. Okay, let's go. So the next thing is the PLACE command. He's really good at it. He'll hold it forever, at least a couple of hours. Okay, let's go. Hand signal, place. Attaboy, good boy. So place is get on your bed, lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what he does, okay? You notice I pointed my hand. If he came off of that place, I would bite him right back to the middle of the bed. No, 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 place, good boy, and then go right back off. In the beginning, when you do place, we want to do it close. We want to walk up to the bed to show him, all right? Right. Later, we can start to get from a further distance from him. Okay, place. Attaboy. As soon as he's looking for a treat there, I didn't give him one, I wanted to pet him. As soon as you start feeling comfortable, and as soon as his forefoot hits that bed, that's when you praise, okay? Let's go. The other thing, and I didn't really teach him this, he was already doing it very well, we just made the command official, is the load up. All right, man. Good boy. If he didn't do it, we would tap him and tell him, no, load up. Right. So this guy's good. This guy loves treats. It's no problem to give him treats if you want. I like to give my dogs treats, but normally they don't know it's coming. And then what happens is they're always looking for, but I always give the words touch, toy, and positive emotion. But I don't give it all the time because I don't want a dog looking for a treat all the time. So once he understands what's going on, save it for special occasions. But do give it because that always keeps him wondering what's going to happen. Remember, words, touch, treat, toy, positive emotion. Coupling all those together makes the treat go a lot better when you tell him good boy. He's going to think treat and everything else, I believe. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I can think of one more thing, and that's the heel command. The heel command is when we have a rectangular box right by us, okay, by our side. When we start to walk and tell him to heel, when we stop, he's supposed to sit, okay? These videos are once through, people, so I can forget things and bloopers happen in the middle of them when they happen. All right, so he's here. When we stop, he sits, okay? Don't mind him standing now, but when we start the heel, he's got to stop. I like the heel command. It's really a very tight let's go in my opinion, but with the only difference being the sit, but I like to use it in heavy traffic. You know, when there's a lot of people at a farmer's market or something like that, it makes him feel your leadership, your authority a little bit tighter than the let's go that when you're doing it, just taking him for a walk. All right, man, you ready? Heel, hand signal, we turn, whoa, we turn. I step off, look how he's coming right back into my box. We stop, no, sit. Do it again, heel. He was looking over there for the cat, but I haven't seen it. Good. Down. Good boy. Heel. We turn around. I'm going to come right back over to where we were. Good. He holds it. He didn't look that time. He was looking at me, which is what I want him to do. Anytime our dog looks at us, we want to praise him, okay? Heel. So he messed up, or I messed up on the heel just like I was about to forget it. Good. Because he's really good at his obedience. Right. Good boy. Let's go. Last walk. looking for the cat, trying to see what triggered him. That's what happens with a prey drive, okay? Or a play drive for that matter. You have to keep an eye and keep a watch for what's going on. The quicker you can respond to it, the more he will understand that you're in control. I'm actually wish it hadn't happened, but I'm glad it did happen. It sort of gives you an idea what's going to happen when you're out on walks. So that could have been let's go. It could have been any other command, and that could happen. It's been years since I've had cats be a regular part of my video. I'm glad this happened this morning. You know, if you need me, call Jim Hodges Dog Training, 336-945-3232. I'm here for you. If you ever need a follow-up, just give me a call. All you have to do is come to me, no charge. Thank you so much, and God bless.